Welcome everyone to the Redesign Your Business webinar, plus 7 keys to adding massive value to your client. I'm so excited that you're here with me. I can see a number of you tuning in from Essex, from Canada, from Lagos, Nigeria. Thank you so much. I know this has been really tough time, especially for those in Nigeria and even for those abroad. You know, the news of all the gunshots, the Protestant, NSAS, everything has been demoralizing. But you know what? We keep moving, we keep going. There's no time, there's no point trying to postpone what we need to do because of what's happening. We need to rise above the situation. So I'm glad that you're here with me today. So like I said, we'll start immediately because we have a lot to cover. And over the next 2 hours, we'll be discussing a very important topic, especially for this season that we're in today. So I'll say a quick word of prayer and then we'll start. Heavenly Father, we just thank you for this time together. We thank you for this opportunity. Holy Spirit, I ask that you take charge of this meeting. I pray that you take control, and I pray that this session will be productive. It will be relevant to everyone who's tuning in or to those who are listening to the replay. And Lord, I thank you because I know that everyone here is going to live with something, an action that they can take in their business to move them forward. Thank you, Heavenly Father. I pray for the network that will be fine. For anyone else that wants to join us, I pray that you bring them here safely. In Jesus' name, amen. If you have a friend who is meant to be here, they're registered, send them a text, send them a message quickly that they need to be here right now. We are not waiting. We are going straight in. Okay, so today's session is going to be practical. As I share, I know that you're going to be getting lots of value. So write stuff down as you get the awareness. Okay, so house rules. I like to do house rules before we crack on. You've already committed to coming to this webinar, and this is your time. So I would encourage you to go somewhere quiet, if possible, for the next 2 hours so that you can plug in and get the value from this webinar. Shut off your emails after sending, a message to your friend who's meant to be here. Then close down your Facebook, close down your phone so you can stay focused. If you want, get a drink of water. I have my drink of water here, anything of your choice, and that would help you stay focused. Pen and notepad to write on, because there's going to be lots of awareness and takeaway for you to take on. And then, of course, stay till the end because I have a giveaway for you. Now, agenda, quick agenda. I would tell you who I am, especially if you don't know me, and what qualifies me to talk about this topic, the current problem we're facing right now in this day and age we're in, the current trends and my promise to you, the building blocks you require to, redesign your business and up-level your game. And then I'll bring in Coach Aaron to talk about 7 keys to add massive value to your clients. And then I will share a bit about the digital transformation program that can help you, if you want to take things to the next level, then yes, you want to be hearing about that. Then we'll do the giveaway and any questions. I'm not checking the chats, but I will check in between. But if there are any questions, please type away. And when I can, I will pick them up. Okay. So actually at this point, let me just check if there's any, okay, so I don't think there's anything going on in the chat box for now. So I will just crack on. So who am I and what qualifies me to talk about this topic on business? First of all, I'm the daughter of the Most High God. That's how I like to describe myself. I'm married. I have 4 children, one of who is in heaven. I trained as a business analyst, and I've worked for several top organizations such as Accenture, British Sky Broadcasting, Ford Motors, and the likes. Currently, I work as the lead coach in Super Working Mom, and that is basically an organization that is dedicated to helping Christian moms find their purpose, maximize their time so that they can manifest their dreams. And how did all of this come about? A few years ago, I knew that I wanted more than my 9-to-5 job. I was doing quite well in my role, but there was this restlessness. I just knew that there was so much more that I should be doing. but I didn't quite know what it was. I tried my hands on different business ideas, bid making, drop shipping, direct sales, network marketing, and anything you could think of. But I quit every single one of it because I didn't have a vision, I didn't know what I was doing, and I lacked confidence because the mindset you have in a career is different from what you have in starting a business. It was comfortable sticking to a 9 to 5 job where at least I knew I would get a regular income. However, I knew deep down that God was calling me to do something else, to run a business, which will allow me work around my family and also empower the nation He was calling me to help. And that burning desire was there. I'll be at work, but I just knew there was something else I was meant to be doing. And then God gave me the idea to start Super Working Mom. And this was the end of 2011. And I was still doing my full-time job then. However, even with starting Super Working Mom, I still had the same challenges: no clear vision, no direction, lack of confidence in my abilities, no money to invest in the business, or so I thought. And then when I was 3 months pregnant with my son, my second son, oh no, sorry, my first son, my second child, my first son, who a lot of you would know as Prof. J, I got laid off work. And that was when, I knew that, okay, it was time to make a move. There's a whole story around that, but I won't go into that today. But it was at that point that I made the decision that, okay, this is time to turn this idea into a business. And so I had to find the money to invest in myself. I invested in coaching, I invested in business programs. And from the time I made an investment in my growth, that was where I began to get transformation. And so what I'd been trying to achieve with Super Working Mom in 1 year, I achieved in 3 months. I got my first 10 clients as part of the Super Working Mom Academy. And in 2015, I finally got the confidence to leave my 9 to 5 job to focus on my business. And now I basically help, like I said, Christian moms maximize their time so they can manifest their God-given dreams. I know, I've been on that journey, and I would say that I'm successful, but I'm getting there. I'm not where I would like to be, but I'm growing and God is helping me. And also another thing I love to do is use my gift of technology to also provide guidance to women in business. So I know that a lot of women have, that burning desire to either birth a new dream or start a business, but not quite sure what to do. And when they work with me, I'm able to give them that clarity. A number of my ladies say that, they find me to be an activator to help them to start their business or start that project or whatever it is, that dream that they want to do. I also recently qualified as a grief recovery specialist earlier this year, February. And also, this was after my son passed away. And my desire really ultimately is I want to see women living in their purpose. And so if grief is in the way, you're not able to live, move forward with your life and actually do what God has called you to do. So in that capacity, I kind of help women and men to heal from any emotional loss they've gone through. And so I'm giving this whole background just to, kind of show you where I'm coming from and what kind of qualifies me to talk about this topic today. So really, I want to be sharing with you the steps that I put in place to be able to leave my 9 to 5 job and start my business, live in purpose, and minimize the impact of the threats we have these days, COVID-19, lockdown, all of those things. And that's what I want to be able to share with you. Now, I'm not saying leave your job. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying, and I will talk a bit more about that, like why have a business or why have another source of income. Okay, so moving on quickly. Like I said, I have a special gift for someone, and then we'll do all of that at the end. So what would we say the current problem is that we're facing today? I mean, it's known, except you're living, even someone who's living under a rock knows that COVID-19 has just hit everyone across board. And then there was a recession, right? As a result of that. Several jobs have been affected. People have been laid off work. People cannot go into their offices to work. The travel industry, aviation, I know flights are back, but when COVID hit initially, there were no flights moving, schools were shut down, hospitality department or industries were affected, restaurants, small businesses and events were affected, and other industries. Life and business as we know it has changed. And so we need to move with the time. We need to move with all of what's happening right now. Now, I'm not sharing this to scare you, because I know, I mean, if you listen to the news, that alone is enough to just get you panicky. But no, that's not why we're here today. Yes, the media is already doing a good job of making us panic. But how can we rise above that situation? How can we get to a point where we are not allowing lockdown, COVID-19, the recession to stop us from earning an income, and not just earning an income, but doing what God has called us to do? If you're a Christian, you know that Isaac sowed in the land when there was famine, and he reaped 100-fold. And so for you, as you sow your time, as you sow your resources, your money, encouraging words to others, you would also reap 100-fold in Jesus' name. I know that I'm moving really quickly, and that's because we have a lot to cover. The replay is going to be out, so you can watch that, pause it, stop, and all of that. But we'll keep going. So what are the current trends that are driving success today? Everyone is having to adjust quickly to the constant changes. It's a case of either you're swimming or sinking. You know, employees are having to work remotely. A number of businesses, yes, even though they are open, you know, there are a lot of, not so many people can come into the store at the same time, all of those things. Life as we know it, business as we know it has changed. Some schools like some countries like America, Brazil have not resumed schools. Parents are having to homeschool their children, or they're having to do school online. So children are at home as well. And now what seems to be the way forward is a number of people are doing their business online and getting, you know, passive income as a result of that. Of course, there might be an impact to the online world, but it is minimal compared to where you have to make physical contact with other people. And so it's possible to make money even when you're not physically present. And that's part of what I want to talk to us about today. Your income is not does not have to be tied to the hours you work. You know, there was a time where people couldn't go into work and they were like, if you don't come in, you don't get paid, you know, or some organizations were able to quickly turn things around to get their employees to work from home. But anyway, all of that said, it is time to re-strategize and see how we can do business well in this climate that we're living in today. Okay. So my promise to you today is that by the time we're done, you know, you would know the building blocks and action steps required to scale through in this season, whether you're starting out, whether you're already in business, excuse me, whether you're thinking, okay, I have a hobby, I want to move this hobby into a business, but I don't know what to do. I'm not sure how to go about it. I'm not good online. I don't know how to use social media. I've got you. We're going to talk about all of that today. So why have a business? You know, you might be here today thinking, is it really necessary to have a business? Why should I even have a business in the first place? Or maybe you've considered it, but not fully. You have this hobby that you're doing and you're like, why do I need to change this hobby into a business? So let's look at some reasons why you should have a business. First of all, it is one of the pillars to build wealth. I think there are about 7 pillars also. But having a business is one way, is one of the pillars to building wealth. You cannot build wealth or financial freedom if you have just a 9-to-5 job. And that is because your employers decide how much you get paid. Yes, you might negotiate, but there's only so far that you can negotiate. But in a business, that decision is within your control. Entrepreneurship is one of the best ways to increase your income, and in many cases, remove the income ceiling from your life. So while I'm not saying that starting a business is for everyone, but for many, it can be a way to unlock the potential for increased income and freedom. Many people feel stuck, unemployed, and frustrated that they have very little control over the money they make. But if you start a business, you have some level of control over the amount you make, and you can break free from this limitation. Some stats show that 40% of US businesses are owned by women. 64% of new women-owned businesses were started by women of color last year. And 62% of women entrepreneurs cited their business as their primary source of income. So really, a lot of people are moving to the entrepreneurship model. Another reason why you should have a business is that, and if you've read the Slayed Out book, and in fact, if you check online, Mountain of Influence, business is it is the critical mountain of influence that affects every other mountains. The other mountains are education, government, family, arts and entertainment, religion, and media. I break all of this down in my book, Slayed Out, so you can check that out. But without business, none of these other mountains can effectively work. And I don't want to go into a whole topic about mountains today, but business is where money comes from, which kind of fuels all the other mountains. So having a business puts you in that position to affect other mountains by, effecting change with money. Like they say, money, even the Bible says money answereth all things, right? So money is needed for every other mountain to exist. Also, it provides you flexibility and freedom, especially we moms. You can walk around your children. There's no employer telling you, no, you want to go for your child's Christmas play, and then your boss is giving you aggro because you want to take time off and all of those things. All of those things are not there. You are in control of your time. You have that flexibility to decide, today I'm working, today I want to chill. You have that flexibility. No one is loading what you need to be doing with your time. And you also have freedom. Yes, initially when you start off your business, you might have to put a lot more time, but if you do it the right way, and we'll be talking about that, you would have more time to do other things, to focus on other passions and other things that you want to invest your time in. Also, you'll be creating jobs and sources of income for other people. There'll be other people you need to help you work in your business. By taking on their services, you're also providing a source of income for those people. So it's not just about, oh, I want to acquire wealth, I want to acquire riches for me and my family. There is a ripple effect when you start a business. Also, you impact the lives of others through the services and products that you provide. The way we do business as kingdom-minded people is different from the way the world does business. We cannot do business the same way, okay? And once we begin to realize that, okay, this business that I have, the money coming from it, yes, my family will be sorted, but I can also advance the kingdom of God. That we need to begin to see our business from that point of view. Okay, so let me check. Okay, there's no, okay, good. If there are any questions at any point, let me know. So now we're going to go into the building blocks for a successful business. And I'm going to be using questions. I'll be asking a question for each building block for you to kind of know what they are. So the first one, my first question to you today is, do you have a vision? Remember when I was telling you about when I started Super Okay Mom? I didn't know what I was doing. I knew I had an idea, but I didn't have a clear vision of what I wanted to do. The foundation has to be right. When you want to start a business, you have to have the foundation right. If you don't know why you're doing something, then the road can lead you anywhere. The Bible says in Proverbs 29:18, that where there's no vision, the people perish. So if you don't have a clear map on where you're heading, on why you're doing this business, then ultimately that business is going to pack up. Your vision has to be God ordained. Remember, I'm talking to kingdom-minded women here. So this isn't just a lofty vision of, oh, I want to make, 6 figures. That is great and fantastic, but it has to be bigger than that. It has to be bigger than the money that you want to make from it. It has to be God ordained. it also needs to be bigger than you. If your vision, if your dream is not bigger than you, then that dream is not big enough. Ultimately, it means you reach your goal, or you reach where you want to reach, and then that's the end. No, it has to be bigger than you, right? Much, much bigger than you, and not to scare you, but to get you motivated and saying, yes, as the dream is big, you stretch and grow to fill up that vision and that dream that you have. Also, you need to know what your big why is. Why do I want to start this business? I started so many businesses in the past without a why. I just wanted to make money. There was something else going on within me. I knew I wanted to start a business, but I didn't articulate what my why was. So as soon as I reached the first hurdle, I was out. As soon as things got tough, I was out. Excuse me. So you need to know, what is your big why? Why are you starting this business? Because it is your why that will keep you going when things get tough. Because trust me, starting a business or running a business is not child's play. So you need a strong why to keep you going. Excuse me. Also, your vision is tied to your gift and talent. There's no point starting a business where you don't know anything. I mean, you're not using the resources that God has given you. Also, you need to begin to map out your numbers. What are my numbers? When I say numbers, I'm talking about how much am I going to make? How much do I expect to make from this business? You need to know those numbers. Also, you need to do research. You don't just jump into a business without doing some research. But again, you need to be careful here. Some people have been in research mode for the past 10 years, still doing research. No, there has to be a balance. As you're doing your research, you're jumping in, you're starting. I mean, look at Apple. When Apple started the iPhone, they started with iPhone 3 or so, I think. They obviously they didn't have everything, but they knew they had enough to start a phone. And as they did their research, they put the phone out. They got feedback from their clients, and then before you know it, iPhone 4, iPhone 5. Now I think we're in iPhone 11. I've lost track now. But as they got feedback, they added more value to the product that they had. So stop waiting for, and that's the problem a number of us have. We are waiting for a full-fledged product before we jump into it. No, start with what you know, start with what you have. Okay. Also, you need to know how much it will cost you to run your business. What are my costs? If you don't know what your costs are and you're just, spending and spending, you don't know what your costs are, you don't know what your profits are, then there's going to be a problem. Okay. So you need to know how much you're going to be spending on this business and how much is going to be coming in. So those are some of the things you need to begin to think about. The second question I have for you is, what do you have in your house? Or what do you have in your hands? I love the story of the widow with the jar of oil in the Bible so much. And in fact, earlier this year, God spoke to me a lot through this woman's story. She was faced with the threat of losing her sons after her husband died and left her in debt. She had lost her husband. Now the bailiffs were coming after her sons. She didn't have any money. She didn't have anything. And obviously, this was the big threat that she was facing. Right? And for us in our day, the threat of coronavirus is there. The threat of the recession is there. And it might be impacting you as well. So, of course, we can't go into the full story. But then when she ran to the prophet Elisha, he asked her a very simple question. What do you have in your house? I mean, at first, she couldn't think of anything. She was like, I don't have anything. And then she remembered the jar of oil that she had. It was that jar of oil that got her out of debt and the threat that she was facing. So, what is your own jar of oil? What is that thing that you have discounted or abandoned? It is just the sitting, dust, gathering dust. That thing that you don't think would amount to anything. That is the thing that you need to go back to that will multiply in your hands. God has given each of us at least one gift. And the Bible tells us that our gift will make room for us. And so we can change the word gift to value. And Coach Aaron is going to be talking a lot more about adding value to your clients. What is the gift that you have that will make you stand before kings and not mere men. You might not recognize it now, but I want you to begin to think, is it the fact that you can write? Is it the fact that you can dance? And I'm just, putting out random things there. Is it the fact that you know how to hold a crowd? You're a good communicator, but you've discounted it because you don't think it's anything. What is that? Are you good with numbers? Are you good with figures? What is that thing that you're so good with that you've how do I put it? You've taken it for granted, but other people see that gift in you and say, wow, you'll be good with this or you'll be good with that. Write it down. What is that thing that is coming to your mind now that seems inconsequential? Write it down. That might just be the thing that will get you out of the situation you're in, or that will get you to start a new business, or even reinvent the business that you currently have. And there are so many lessons to be learned from this woman. Again, if just talking about her alone, we can spend the whole time on her. But one key thing I want you to take away from her story as well is that the prophet told her to go and borrow vessels. And that word borrow, in the context of the woman's story, means to inquire, it means to ask, it means to consult. Some of us need to be making inquiries. We need to be asking more instead of keeping quiet and suffering and smiling. You need to be asking. You need to be asking for help, whether it's from a coach, whether it's from a mentor, whether it's from others that have done similar to what you want to do. Because most times the reason why we are stuck is because there's something we don't know. And until we ask, we will still not know it. And that is why we are perishing. And the Bible says people die because of lack of knowledge. But guess what? The widow asked boldly. She went to her neighbors and she asked them for vessels. She didn't care whether they would laugh at her or whether they would, she probably, and funny enough, I was listening to Coach Aaron talk about the woman with the jar of oil, I think it was last week. She probably had a good relationship with her neighbors, and that's why she could boldly go and ask them for their vessels. So again, that's another lesson, the relationship. What relationships are you building? But we can't go into all of that today. There's no point making excuses. We need to go out and ask for what we want. Okay? But we're going to move on now. There's so much we can learn from this woman. Okay, so moving on. And I hope all of this is helping. What problem do you solve and for who? I think this is a big, big one. You know what you want to do. You know what God is calling you to do. But guess what? You're still trying to help everybody. You want people to like you. You want everybody to like you. But you can't do business that way. You need to focus on serving a unique nation. I love to call my clients nation, because that's, again, for me, that's the kingdom language that I love to use. I feel like everyone, and not just I feel, I know that we have all been called to a unique nation. So who have you been called to? Or what is the unique problem that you are solving? What do people know you for? You cannot market to everybody, because when you try to market to everybody, nobody listens. Nobody identifies what you're selling, because you're saying it to everybody. You're saying it to everybody, and everybody's nobody, right? So you need to begin to understand that who do I want to be? Who do I want to communicate with? Everybody is online now. Everybody is talking to everybody, but nobody is listening, especially if you're not targeting a problem to solve, right? So of course, there are steps involved in reaching your ideal clients, which we'll discuss in detail in the digital transformation program. But for today, let's even talk about you being the go-to person for that problem that you have been called to solve. And so sometimes the reason why you're not standing out online, or why you feel that people are not listening to you online, and a big thank you to everyone who replied me telling me what their challenge is online. Some people said, I don't even know how to, nobody's listening to me. I don't know who to talk to. I don't know how to reach my ideal client. Again, start with what you have and what you know. And the reason why you're not standing out online is because you're trying to help everybody. You can't help everybody. That is one mistake that a number of people, and especially women, make. Anytime sometimes when I coach women and I ask them, okay, so Who do you want to sell to? They say, everybody, anyone that will buy. It's okay. I don't mind. You have to mind. Okay? You can't run a successful business without knowing the problem that you're solving and for who. And I know that it sounds counterintuitive, but if you want to succeed online, if you want to have a successful business online, you need to be known for solving a unique problem, such that when people mention your name, they must quickly identify you with one thing or a group of people. Oh, Datola, she helps Christian moms to maximize their time so that they can manifest their God-given dreams, right? Because that's what will set you apart. And if you notice, most brands have a unique selling point. Of course, you might have different products and services, but when I'm talking about your key message here, what do you stand for? What is the problem that you solve? There are so many women that help other women, that coach other women. But for me, what differentiates me is I infuse my love of technology and productivity with helping kingdom-minded women to find and work in their purpose, right? I solve the problem of being productive, because that's one big problem a number of moms have. How do I stay productive with everything all these balls that I'm juggling? And then so I help you stay productive with your purpose leveraging on technology. And the truth of the matter is, as you grow, your ideal client or your ideal nation grows with you. One key area that God is beginning to reveal to me now is He's calling me to women leadership, raising women leaders. Another aspect is the grief recovery that I'm doing. And it's all tied in. They're all keyed in together. So if you ask me, what do I stand for or what problem do I solve? I'm basically helping you to live a life of purpose. And so if something is stopping you from doing that, I can help you with it. Okay? I also like to use the example of two of my ladies in the Super Working Mom Academy, Mushakoya and Coco. They're both fitness coaches, right? But Mushakoya helps women who have just had a baby. So anything postnatal, she helps you, lose that baby fat and all of those things, and also live a healthy lifestyle. While Coco, on the other hand, helps men and women lose weight more from a medicinal point of view. And I'm sure she will say it better. But, she's had loads of clients who are no longer on their diabetes drug, no longer using drugs for different problems that they had, because she's teaching them how to use food as medicine. And it's funny, if you come to Coco and say, oh, I just had a baby, I want to lose weight, the first thing she will tell you is that, oh, I know someone that can help you, Mushokwe. Not that she can't help you, but she knows someone who has trained as a postnatal fitness and nutrition expert. Do you see what I'm saying? So when you can clearly say, this is the people that have been called to help, then even people who are doing similar to you will point people that come to you and say, this person will be able to help you more or help you better. Am I making sense? I hope I'm making sense. So you might be here saying, but Datola, I'm multi-talented, I have so many talents, I have so many things that I'm juggling. How does this unique problem help me? Or how does trying to solve a unique problem help? Well, what I always say is start with what you stand for. What is your core message? Focus on that. Let people know you for one thing. And when they come to you, you can begin to tell them of the other things you do. So if I go back to using Coco as an example as well, Coco is also a fashion designer. She designs outfits. But she comes with the message of, let me help you lose weight. And after you've lost the weight and you're looking all snazzy, then she's like, hey, let's, change your wardrobe. I will get you into new outfits that would suit this new body. Does that make sense? So she's not going out talking about, oh, I'm a fashion designer, even though she does that as well. But she helps you lose weight first. And then she now tells you how to, she now shows you how to dress nicely for this new body you have. So you can do that as well. God is not an author of confusion. Every gift He has given you tie in somehow. They all tie in and they all complement each other. Another question you might be saying, but others are already doing what I'm doing, so why bother? I address this extensively in my book, the Slayed Out book. But one thing I want you to realize is that there is something unique that you bring to the table. Your combination of gifts, talents, failures, successes, your story, your personality, even the way you sound, your mannerisms, is attractive to a group of people. And I will say that again. Every single thing you have, every single thing about you is attractive to a set of people. So not everybody will like you. You won't be everyone's cup of tea. And as soon as you're clear on that, you'll be fine. So again, as I say, I call those people your nation. So focus on that and stop looking at the competition. You know, growing up in Nigeria, my mom used to buy, and if you're not Nigerian, forgive me for this example, but this is the example that makes it really clear to me. She used to buy plantain, right, on the way home. And there were all these plantain sellers. They used to stand beside each other. And when my mom would drive her car and park by the plantain sellers, the person who normally sells her plantain will come and say, my customer. So my mom knew, out of all those plantain sellers, she knew who, the person she loved to buy plantain for. And sometimes when the lady is not there, she'll say, where is, whatever her name is. There'll be someone else who will come, park there and buy from someone else. It's probably possible that the first time my mom got there, the plantain seller was nice to her or whatever. I don't know. But there was a connection. And so just because there are 5 plantain sellers on the streets doesn't mean they won't all sell. They will. They all have their different customers. Or think about Chinatown. Chinatown, there are loads of restaurants all selling the same Chinese food. But guess what? People who go to Chinatown probably like a particular restaurant that they go to each time and they don't deviate. It's the same with you. So we need to get over ourselves and stop saying other people are doing it. Let me tell you something. The Bible says that how does it put it again? The harvest is plenty, the laborers are few. We need more people. So stop discounting yourself and saying somebody else is doing what I'm doing. Your own nation is waiting for you. And if you don't get up and do what you're meant to do, you're doing them a disservice. You're doing yourself a disservice as well. So please, let's get over ourselves. And that problem God has given you to solve. In fact, when he created you, he put the answer in you and said, you go and solve this problem for this particular nation. And I hope this is helping somebody today. Okay, moving on quickly. Oh my goodness, it's already 9:08. Okay. My next question to you is, do you have an online presence or platform? That is the way to go in this day and age. You need an online presence of some sort. You can have a website or a blog, an online store. You need to get to a point where you're leveraging technology and social media. Now, having a website is great. Whilst it is not a requirement to succeed online, I think it's an essential tool to have so that way you have like a place people can find you. In as much as you're leveraging social media such as Facebook, Instagram, and all of that, those platforms, the content you put on there is still owned by Facebook and the likes. If they pack up tomorrow, that is it. You can't fight them, right? Because you don't own that platform. But your website, you've paid for your hosting, you've paid for your domain name, so that is yours. So I'm not saying wait till you have a website to go online. No, you can start from social media. Yes, by all means. You can start from a blog, an online store, where you begin to connect to your nation. You can, like I said, you can use social media or other tools to start out, right? But the key thing is that you need a platform. You need to be present online, because that's where you can begin to effect change. That's where you can begin to influence your nation. You can begin to put relevant content for them to see as well. And then they can now decide if they want to work further with you. Okay? A lot of people, as we know, use social media for the wrong things. And we are not meant to be those. That's not what we are meant to be doing with social media. Yes, social, and I don't know who has seen Social Dilemma on Netflix. Oh my goodness. It's just, if you haven't seen it, find time to watch it. It just goes to show how social media can be used for evil. It's a tool, just like money. It can be used for evil or it can be used for good. Where do you want to fall into? Do you want to use social media for good? Do you want to be able to help other people, encourage other people online? Or do you want to be the one pulling other people down online? What camp do you fall under? You need to have processes in place and systems that can help you, so that it's not like you are glued to your system 24/7 online. No. And again, part of all of that is what we talk about in the digital transformation program. And then you need to delegate. Someone emailed me and said, I don't know the beginning and end of social media. I don't even know where to start. And so I don't think I can come online. You don't need to know how to use social media per se. Delegate it. We have social media managers that can manage your account for you. And that way, you can begin to leverage technology without you necessarily being there. Again, automate processes, get to a point where you are using technology in your favor. One of the ladies who did DTP in the past, I think she's on the call, but I won't mention her name. She's a fashion designer. We were talking recently, and she was telling me now what she wants to do is to be able to train others on how to sew their own clothes and, you know, cut their own material and all of those things. She has done the whole sewing and cutting and all of those things for years. Now she's in a position to teach others. All she needs to do, and all she's planning to do, is create an online course where she records videos of her showing you how to cut, how to sew, and all of those things. And before you know it, it's online. And so she's not glued to her system. She doesn't have to be present to make money. And she's doing something great. She's teaching people how to start their own fashion or how to sew clothes, and doing that with the use of social media, with the use of technology, right? So that would also free her up to do other things that she loves to do in the community. She has other projects she's involved in. So she's not tied to her computer all day. She's not tied to her sewing machine all day. She's done her, you know, she's added to the quota of sewing into the world, and now she's paying back by showing other people how to do just that. So for you, you need to figure out, what is my core competency, focus on your brilliant zone, and outsource everything else. Social media, accounting, all of those things that you are not good at. Pay someone else, hire someone else to do your weaknesses. Okay? And then lastly, are you investing in yourself? To grow your business, you have to grow first. You have to manage yourself. You have to maximize your time. You need to educate yourself in the area where you want to do business in. Remember, we talked about the word borrow with the story of the woman with the jar of oil, which means inquire, which means consult, which means ask. That is part of investing in yourself. When you don't know, you need to ask someone that does. Ask mentors that have gone ahead of you. Ask coaches. You need to obviously take care of you, your mental health, your emotional health, all of those things, and then get experienced help. I think that is one thing that a lot of women shy away from doing, but you need to begin to do this. You need to begin to invest in yourself so that you can grow yourself and grow your business. Because when you invest in yourself, it affects everything else. It affects even your parenting, your marriage, you being a better wife, a better parent, a better manager of your money, all of those things, a better business owner. You also get a high return on investment on your investment faster when you invest in a coach or in a mentor. Ultimately, it saves you time, right? Of course, you still go through your own process, but there are some mistakes you shouldn't even be making because you have a coach or a mentor. Also, your worth increases. Do you know a lot of reason? One reason why a lot of people have imposter syndrome is because they've not invested in themselves. You want to charge somebody for something, but you have not invested that amount of money on yourself. So obviously you would have imposter syndrome. There's a conflict because you've not invested that type of money yourself. Then you can't. There's a law. I don't know what the law is, but you can't ask someone to do something that you've not done for yourself. But when you've invested in yourself, it boosts your confidence and you can begin to ask others to invest with you as well. Also, you overcome fear. If it's just you trying to analyze stuff, overanalyze, all you do is end up in, you just end up being stuck. But when you have a coach or a mentor that is guiding you and you're rubbing minds together, fear has no place to stay because they stretch you, they are backing you, they are, cheering you on to do what you're meant to do. And lastly, if you don't invest in yourself, no one else will do. People will only invest their time, money, and resources if they can see that you are investing in yourself. And it shows. You don't have to go around saying, I'm investing in myself. No, it will show in your growth that you are investing in yourself. And then lastly, this isn't lastly, second to the last, you need to move away from a scarcity mentality to an abundant mentality. Instead of saying, I will try and do it myself. I can't afford to invest in my growth. You need to move from that mindset if you want to move faster. And then lastly, you need to implement. There's no point getting experienced help and you're not implementing what your mentor or your coach is telling you. You need to implement what you're being taught. If not, all of it will just be a waste. Okay, so we're going to move to Coach Aaron quickly. I know I went over that really fast, but let me check the comments to see what people are saying. Also, people are saying I'm making sense. Thank you. Yes, indeed. Ngozi, the harvest is plenty, the laborers are few. Okay, I hope this points has kind of helped in some way. But now quickly, I'm going to hand over to Coach Aaron to share 7 keys to add massive value. Let me stop sharing my screen. So Coach Aaron, I am going to thank you. I'll be back, but I've taken a break for Coach Aaron to talk. So how do I do spotlight you? Yeah, there you are. Thank you so much for coming, Coach.
Thank you for having me. Is my makeup good? I'm just kidding.
You look all right.
I'm hanging out with the ladies, and I understand you lot do this touch my appearance thing that you showed me the other day. So I'm trying to get on it to make sure I represent. I'm not really sure what you want me to say. I think you said it all. Everyone, I think Datela did so well. If you all could just say that was really amazing. Let's just tell her how amazing that was. I honestly don't know what I can add to that. But that was amazing, Datela. That was so good. That was so good. So good. I know the title says 7. Actually, let me start from here. So key things for you to, I want to make this as practical as possible and just give you notes. So Datela kind of alluded to this because of time. I'm just going to dive in. So 5 pillars of wealth creation, very important. Quickly, write it down. Number 1, real estate. Number 2, business. Some of the things I'm going to be sharing here, possibly things I haven't even shared with my clients because I really haven't done a lot of business teaching with my clients because I believe you have to grow yourself first before you grow your business. But number 1, real estate. Number 2, business. Number 3, investment. And Datela talked about that in business. Number 4, sales and marketing. And number 5, branding. I hope you got all that. Number 1, real estate. Number 2, business. Number 3, investment. And number 4, sales and marketing. And number 5, branding. And these are some of those things that we are going to get in. If you are planning to be in business, if you run a business, if you're planning to be in business, if you're thinking about business, there's absolutely no reason why you shouldn't take the offer Datela will be giving you today at the end of this session. I'm saying it straight up. Make sure you're on it because we're throwing in a lot into this just to empower women and empower female women businesses. So there's a whole lot that's going to go into it. There's a whole lot I'm bringing on board to help empower this. So I'm just saying it up front. When Datela makes the offer, jump in. Don't say you were not told. Jump in. So real estate, business. You must own real estate. You must have business. You must have investments. and sales and marketing and branding. These 5 areas I will touch on the program at some point, definitely not today. And the title said 7 values, but I won't give you 7. I'm only just going to give you 2 things. I want to make it very practical because of time. 2 things you can walk away from today, 2 areas you can walk away from today and add value to your business, whether you're on the program or not. 2 areas at least. We'll teach all the other stuff in the program, but 2 areas that you can walk away today, whether you're in the program or not. If you do these 2 things, or 2 areas I'm going to share, you would definitely experience some jump in your business. Before I go on, so I also wanted to quickly highlight, which was talking about the 7 mountains of influence: business and economics. Number 1, government and law. Number 2, media, news, commentary. These are areas that if you hold, you will definitely be making money. Number 4 is arts and entertainment. Number 5, education. Number 6, family. If you're running anything in family, you would always have money. And number 6, religion and faith. And at the heart of any job, listen guys, ladies, at the heart of any job is really the sales engine. Making sales is what builds businesses, at least initially. Making sales is what builds businesses, at least initially. So it's in understanding what people want and being in a relentless pursuit to get them in as quickly, understanding what people want, being someone says I'm too fast. All right, it's being recorded because of time. So in understanding what people want and being in a relentless pursuit to get people into your business as quickly, as effectively, and at the highest level of quality you can possibly do, within a price that they're willing to pay. I hope you got all these different things. For you to succeed in business, you have to understand, what do people want? What do people want? Then be in a relentless pursuit. Relentless pursuit means you keep going after the people to get them in as quickly and as effectively and at the highest level of quality that you can possibly do within a price, not a price you set, a price that the people are willing to pay. All right, a price they are willing to pay. Now, I'm going to jump in and share some strategies that I believe will make a difference in how you begin to look at your business going forward. Number one, the first one is, and Daytona started to talk about that briefly. The first one is success leaves clues. Success leaves clues. Success leaves clues. Look, success really does leave clues. And if you look, you can find them. When you look, you can find success. We can learn from the negative and positive as well. When I say success leaves clues, it's kind of, you know what to do and what not to do. And often failure is the best learning opportunity. You will hear me talk a lot about failure. Failure is the best learning opportunity. You see where you have complaining customers? I'm giving you practical steps. When you have complaining customers, they are great to learn from. I'm going to be really practical in the program and tell you where you can find your businesses and find your business people you didn't know they were. Where you have complaining customers, number one, a very great place to learn from. And I think one of the reasons why people don't see the clues that success leaves is because they don't listen. If you're gonna be a business person, number one thing you wanna do is listen. And when we listen with half of our mind engaged and we have the other half kind of focused on other things, we're never going to really be able to achieve what it is that we want to achieve. So the question you want to be asking yourself is, who are you thinking about listening to? I want you to write down. As you walk away from this call tonight, who are you thinking about listening to? You would hear me always say, who you learn from matters. Who you're watching matters. Who you learn from matters. Who are you thinking about listening to? You want to listen to somebody who has the results that you want. You want to listen to someone who's got proven results. My mentor, Paul Martinelli, always teaches from his experience every time. His mentor, Patrick, who would try and say something, and Paul would say, Patrick, I know. What do you really know, guys? What do you know? So Patrick would tell him, do you know or do you hear? Do you know or did you hear? Because listen, there is a big difference between you knowing something and having heard something. There's a big difference between you knowing something and having heard something. And oftentimes, what he was telling Patrick, his mentor, he knew is really something, and many of us on this call do it, something you've heard or something you're just repeating, something one coach has said, something one speaker has said, and you're just repeating it. You're just repeating it. He really didn't know it at all.
So, what's the matter?
So when you say persistence is important, well, do you know that because you've been persistent, or have you heard of persistence before? Two totally different things. I always want to teach and work from an authentic place, what I have experienced. Learning it and earning it, completely two different things. You can learn it. You can read it in a book. Now, going to earn, two different things. What you've learned and what you're earning, two completely different things, right? And so the problem is we hear with our ears, but we listen with our emotions. You will hear in properties, when I'm doing real estate, you find people who they're not going to live in the house, but they're so emotionally connected to the house. Why? You are not living in the house. And so the problem is we hear with our ears, but we listen with our emotions. And we listen when we become emotionally involved and we begin to give our focus on other things. So we hear with our ears, but we have to instead, not just emotionally, listen with your emotional mind, then you get engaged. And it is really hard to hear and be emotionally involved when your mouth is moving, okay? So recently I'm working with a private client, and all during this session, she kept on interrupting me. I know. In fact, almost happened today with one of my other clients. I know. And she didn't know. She had read it. She had heard it. But she didn't know, because I told her at the end, if you knew, you wouldn't be on this call with me. And I was getting to a point in the conversation where I was, you're getting ready to give her, I was getting there, an idea had dropped, and I was about to give her something between an idea, eventually she found out, something between the 10,000 pounds and the 20,000 pounds an idea. And I was so certain of it. She's experiencing it now. I was so certain that this was an idea that was going to work for her. But she kept on interrupting and arguing about, I know. And sometimes I'm in those calls and I'm thinking, oh my goodness, this is so good. I feel so good, because I know I'm about to give this person something that is about to 10x them, or 10x what they've just invested. It's going to be great. And as if I was beginning to tell her, she said, you know what? So at the time I had to say, stop. Tell me what you think I was going to say. Go ahead and finish it. And she gave me something that was half-baked. I said, no, that's not what I was going to say at all. Completely different. So just listen. And that's what this process is going to be about. You have to be teachable. You have to be someone who is ready to listen. Who you learn from matters. So to do what successful people do, I'm giving you a key here. To do what successful people do, you want to watch and listen. If you're going to do what successful people do, you are going to have to watch and listen. So I was listening to Seth Godin recently, and he says, he calls himself a copycat. He says when he's with his mentors, this is actually me also, when I'm with my mentors and my clients to tell you, especially the successful ones that I'm modeling, what I do is I observe everything they're telling me or everything they tell me to do, and I just shut up and I listen. And I observe and I trust what they said to do, because they know better. And what I've learned is this: it takes no more energy to tune into success than it does to tune into failure. It takes no more energy to tune into success than it is to tune into failure. So, I was, all this while, I've been tuning into failure. I was listening to other people who were failing. And the minute I stopped tuning into, the friends I had who were getting the same or worse results than I had, and started tuning into somebody and seeing how they did everything. So I'm watching all my coaches, I'm watching all my mentors, and I'm closely watching how they do everything, because how you do anything is really how you do everything. So I wanted to know how my mentors do everything, because they had results. They have the results that I wanted to have. In the book Science of Getting Rich, Mr. Wallace talks about doing things in a certain way. If you are going to win in business, there is a certain way of doing business. There is a certain way of doing business. And it talks about thinking in a certain way. And there's a certain way of doing business. And the beautiful thing is that that certain way has already been established. So you don't need to go and really reinvent the wheel. No, and that's what a lot of us try to do. I hope this is helping. Is this helping? You watch and you observe, but you do that with insight, not eyesight. There's a difference between insight and eyesight. And what I mean by that is when we kind of use our eyesight sees things that kind of on the physical level and conditions it just sees on the physical level and conditions as they are when you use insight, you're thinking from a much higher level. So we're thinking with the end in mind. We're thinking with a purpose. We're thinking internally. And so, we want to observe and focus. You don't want to let your minds kind of wander around. A wandering mind leads to wandering generalities. I hope I got that. A wandering mind leads to wandering generalities. Zig Ziglar said, you don't want to be a wandering generality. You want to be a meaningful specific. You want to be a meaningful specific, And so if we allow our minds to wander, and most people who are unsuccessful do that, one of the ways they let their mind wander is that they let their mouth wander. They talk when they shouldn't, when they should be listening. They are not taking notes. And some people are doing that on this course. You're not taking notes. Then you're not working with, and for me, honestly, that's actually a very hard thing. I'm one of those people who I'm training myself, but when I'm with my coaches, really, I tend to shut up. Because I'm a D-driven personality, if you know anything about this. And so it's kind of hard for me to discipline myself to just shut up. But I've also learned that when I'm working with people who know, I just shut up and listen to them. When I'm with my coaches, and some of you who may have, some of my clients who've seen me around, certain people I rate in certain areas, you'll think I'm a fool because I just literally listen to them. I shut up. I keep my mouth shut because if my mouth begins to wander, then I'm going to miss out on the learnings that I can get from them. And some people will listen to those type of things. And if I just do what it is I need to do, you just need to do what successful people do. And I could do that. I could be successful because a lot of people want to create something new. And the Bible says already that there's nothing new under the sun. I don't really want to do that. What's the fun in that, people say? And for them, they want to create, they want to do something that they have created or they've invented. But listen, success leaves clues. And what I would encourage you to do today, I said I want to give you some practical tools. What I would encourage you to do today is start a success clue book, a success leaves clues book. Begin to look at people around you who have results. That's what I do. Begin to look at people around you who have results in an area that you want to grow in. Just look for them. The people who have the results in the area that you want to grow in. Observe and listen. Ask them. You will be amazed at how easy it is to ask somebody who is successful for help. You'll be so amazed. My mentor John Maxwell tells the story of how when he was a young pastor, and he found out about the fastest growing churches in America. All he did was he paid, and that's what Dayton was talking about. He arranged meetings with all these pastors and offered to pay all the pastors $100 for an hour of their time. You have to be intentional. Identify the successful people around you. Observe them. Pay for their time because success leaves clues. Another mentor of mine, Paul Martinelli, tells the story of a particular lady that he sits down with every time he's stuck in an area, and he will pay $25 for an hour of her time. $25,000 for an hour of her time. What I've learned is this: success leaves clues. And you will hear me say this a lot when I teach a book. I teach Think and Grow Rich. Any idea would work. If you're listening to me and you say you don't know how to get into business, take this away tonight. Any idea would work if you are going to work the idea. Any idea would work if you're going to work the idea. If you'll kind of give birth to that idea, and allow that idea in that space and and of allowing that idea give breath, breathe. Any idea will work. So when you get an opportunity to learn from people, like what we're going to be doing on this DTP program, when you get an opportunity to learn from people who know what they are doing, don't be afraid to pay for it. Don't be afraid to pay for it. And that's going to be one of those principles that we're going to talk about and teach on the DTP program that Datalaw has put together. People lose great opportunities to try. People will lose great opportunities because they are trying to drive a hard bargain. No. If somebody has a skill or a talent or resource, something you want to learn, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Start a Success Leaves Clues book and start noticing and begin to watch people who are successful and make note of that. Journal it down. Here's the first thing you should do on your journal right now. On your journal right now, I want you to put in, can you guys hear me? I think my internet says it's been on attack. Can you all hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
All right, cool. I'm getting a message saying I've had a network attack on my firewall, but if you can hear me, that's fine. Let us help you be successful. And that's what the DTP program is. We want to help you be successful. We want to help you be successful in 2021. We're working hard to pack loads into this so that it's a very efficient use of your time, a very efficient use of your money. Two things, your time and money. Show me where you're spending your time and I can show you where your life is heading to. Let me see your bank account and I can tell what the direction of your life. So this DTP program is meant to be an efficient use of your time and money. And like I said, success leaves clues. It's not as hard to find. The Bible teaches a fantastic principle. It is the ask, seek, and knock principle. And it works every single time, Ask, seek, and knock. So take the following notes so that you can have something you can work with straight away. Like I said, what are you already doing that is working? Let me know when you've written that. What are you already doing that is working? Write it down in your notes. I want to give you some practical tools. This is really going to be practical. What are you already doing right now that is working? Anybody written that? Anyone written that quickly? I'll give you the questions and I'll give you the answers. What are you already doing that is working? You've written that? Do you want to know the answer? Just type yes if you want to know the answer. What are you already doing that is working? Number one, the answer is do more of that. Do more of that. Whatever you're doing that is already working, do more of that. Have you all got the first question? Can I go on to the next? Can I go on to the next? What are you doing that is not working? I'm sure you know the answer to that. What are you doing that is not working? Let me see if somebody can catch the answer to that. Who knows the answer to that? Type in the answer to the chat box if you know the answer to that. I just gave you the first one. So what do you think is the answer to that? What are you doing that is not working? Scrap it. Good. Stop doing it. I like that. The person got it. Stop doing that now. Not tomorrow. Now. Cut it off now. But now. Stop doing it now. Now, third question, right? Who do you know that is getting the results you want? Write these questions and giving you practical tools that you can. There's no magic formula. Just this is how I work my business. Who do you know that is getting the results that you want? The results you want. Who do you know is getting it? Do you want to know the answer to that? Have you written that? You want to know the answer to that? Who do you know that is getting the results you want? You want to know the answer to that? Anybody? You're looking for them at the moment. The answer to that is do what they are doing. If you work with these three simple things, do what they are doing. Just look for, before you start innovating, just do what they are doing. Go on first, do what they're doing. The person you know who's getting results, do what they're doing. Listen, guys, your best customers, this is a secret. I'm going to whisper it so my neighbors don't hear me. Your best customers are 20% of your overall customers. And they will give you 80% of your revenue. Your best customers are 20%. I'm giving you secrets of the game. Your best customers are 20% of your overall customers. And those 20% will give you 80% of your revenue. Your best employees are 20% of your overall employees, and they would give you 80% of your results. So listen, in business, focus your time and your energy on the 20% that is giving you results. Focus your time and energy on the 20% that's giving you results. When COVID happened, everybody went on social media. I did initially. Everybody went on social media. Everybody became a newscaster. I stopped that. I went initially and I stopped. I just focused on taking care of my clients. That 20%, I fed into them. I empowered those clients every day. I prayed with those clients every day. I taught some of my best lessons in that season because I knew that everybody was trying to hit the wall to go and get more clients. But I knew that if I could just focus on these ones that I had, and guess what? In COVID, I tripled my business. I literally tripled my client base in COVID. Why? Because I knew to take care of my 20%. Not the generality. Just take care of the 20%. Focus your time and energy on the 20% that is giving you results. That is giving you results. The most precious gift you have is your time. Focus on that 20%. So the question is, when should you stop doing those things that are not giving you results? And the answer is right now. Right now. And I think for many of us, if you would just stop right now, can I give you some more practical steps? I haven't gone to the second step yet, but I'll soon be done. But can I give some more practical steps on this point one? Anyone? All right. If you would, let me give some practical steps in business. If you would just look at if you will stop right now, 10 minutes left. I'll try and wrap it up. Thanks, Ditola. And because I know how Ditola starts to feel when anybody is breaking her rules. If you will just stop right now and look at the last 30 days of your business and find the people who have opened your emails. Try it. I'm giving you gold. I'm giving you gold. Just go for the last 30 days and look at your business. Find the people who've opened your emails, who've returned your phone calls, who returned your text messages, who engaged with you on social media, who bought something from you, who've engaged with you in any way. Secret. That's your market right there. All of us are trying to chase everybody on social media. Just look for who's bought something from you, who returns your text messages, who clicks on who likes your stuff, who opens your emails every time you do a blast. That's the business is telling you. That's your 20% right there. Success leaves clues. That's all kind of clues right there. All kinds of clues. But many of us will read in a book and get confused when the gold was always there. What do they all have in common? Check your email, check your email list, check all that. What do they all have in common? What's their common need? What are they all looking for? What industry are they in? What region of the country are they in? What size of company are they in? Many of us will kill ourselves with branding people trying to create an avatar. When your avatar is staring at you in the face. I used to kill myself. Some of my clients some of my male clients will keep telling me, we need more men we need more men in the mastermind. I don't stress myself. My market research tells me that I do well with women. So why am I killing myself trying to have more men? Everybody's saying go and niche. Niche what? What's the market telling you? What the market is telling you is what you need to focus on. Focus on what the market is telling you, not what you want to create. I hope this is helping. So do that practical step. Go for the last 30 days and really observe your emails, your text, who engages. That's your niche there. That's your avatar. Don't try and create it by yourself. That's your niche. Where did they come from? Why are they following you? What were you doing that worked when they found you? Then keep doing that. Simple. Now, who do you know that's getting the results you want? If you're a poet and you copy other people's work, you're a hack, right? But if you copy successful business people and what they are doing, you are useful and you are helpful. Just do what they're doing. So what can you learn from your best customers? And this is interesting because your very best customers, I'm sure you all know the Pareto principle. The Pareto principle says your best customers are going to be like a small percentage. Your best customers are going to be like a small percentage, 20% of your overall customers. So 20% of your customers are going to give you 80% of your overall results. 20% of your customers are going to give you 80% of your overall results. And this is just true. Go ahead, do the exercise and you'll find out. Come and tell me if it doesn't work. You need to really take care of your 20% guys, your 20% people. If you're growing a movement, you're growing the people, figure out your 20% people and take care of them. One of the success principles that we're going to talk about is don't treat everybody the same. I'll teach you this on the program. You don't treat everybody the same. Listen, you can be on the same plane, right? There's a difference between first class and coach in the same plane. You don't treat everybody the same in business. When you figure out your 20%, treat them better. Treat them differently. Because if you, I'm giving a lot of my trade secrets. I'm hoping I can see that some of my clients are here, but anyway. If you just leave those customers because you've got them and you spend all your time trying to get new business. That's what people do. Try to get new business. Maybe you're going to lose those 20%. It's a lot easier to keep a happy customer than it is to go and find another one. Secrets. It's a lot easier to go and find, to take care of a happy customer than it is to go and find another one. I would rather take care of my happy customer because they will help me get the other one. And when you say to a valued happy customer that is happy, are you happy in what we're delivering? What else can we provide for you? I just love, there's a story I heard of, I've forgotten the name of the lady, I think it's Alice. She delivers flowers. She delivers flowers. She used to be a sales girl. She walks in and she says to them, I see you're running low on vases. Can I bring some more of those for you tomorrow? Can you see how she just added to her business? If you guys can just learn some of these secrets, she delivered flowers. She said, can I bring some from you who already knows all.
Okay. I think you're back. No.
Can I bring more vases for you tomorrow? And that's the principle of finding a customer who's already ordering from you, who already obviously likes you. Whatever flower she's bringing, they're just going to take it, right? Let me try and jump into the next one. So 20, long and short, 20% of your customers, your top customers give you 80% of your revenue. That's business. Your top customers give you 80% of your revenue. So they are what looking after. I suppose it's what phoning them one-on-one, call them, ask them what they need. I want to give you practical stuff, what they need. Because the 80-20% rule always works. It applies to pretty much everything. You probably wear 20% of your clothes anyway, 80% of the time. So it's the same thing. Yeah. So stop spending time on the 80% of unimportant people and unimportant things. I'm sorry. You're not going to be successful trying to change the 80%. Right? Same thing with your team. When you're building a team, spend time on your 20% that gives you value. There's some people, a lot of us are trying to force them into our team. No, my team members know. When you're not delivering, I keep you on the outer until you drop off. Right? But you see the 20%, I pour into the 20%. I invest in that 20% because I know I can get more from them. Right? Number two, let's go. Let's jump into number two. No, that's too much. That's too much. I won't be able to get. Let's go to the second strategy. I wanted to drop a few points again there, but hey, get on the program and I'll share a lot more secrets. Second strategy, be simple. Be simple. Be simple. Not smart. Two things. Don't wait till you learn all the 3,000 things. And Dayton was talking about this. Don't wait until you learn all the 3,000 things that you think you need to know in order to start. Because let me tell you what, you're going to end up really smart, but you're going to be broke. Be simple, not smart. Some of you want to learn everything. You want to learn every technology. You want to learn every new stuff. You're just being smart, but you're going to be broke. Be simple, not smart. Because you if you keep trying to learn everything, you'll find out that you've missed the boat completely and it's no longer relevant. You find out it's no longer relevant. Don't let your desire to learn then lead you to an acquired state of foolishness, where you learn so much that you become a fool. In other words, you've learned so much that you know all you've got is this knowledge, but all the opportunities have passed you. They've passed you by. You know, you've got to be able to take massive action, and Dixela talked about it. Find something really simple. Let me tell you, you want to make money? You want to make money? Find something really simple and just do it at least 1,000 times. That's it. Find something really simple. Just do it 1,000 times. And guess what? You will get really good at doing that. I don't know if you've read Malcolm Gladwell's book, Blink. He talks about you get to the point. We get things in the blink of an eye. It's an intuitive feel. I walk into some opportunities and I know it's there for me. Just like that, boom. You just get it. The quality, because you've invested time, the quality can come from quantity. If you're not good enough to close, right, you would just know certain things that would end up in a business. My mentor says you must be able to put in at least 40 hours a week in your business. But I'll tell you that later, talk about that later, maybe in the program. If you want to run a successful business, you need to be able to put in at least 40 hours a week in that business. So when you're wasting your time sitting down, designing your web page, and I'm glad Dixela talked about designing your web page, your Facebook page ad for 6 or 7 hours in my business, doing Kajabi and all that, you're just killing your time doing the wrong thing you should be doing, when you should be investing your time in getting good on what you are really good at. Let other people do all that stuff. Focus on what your core activities are. What are your core activities? Give that core activity your attention. If you're a cleaner, your core activities are simple. Cleaning an office or asking someone if you can clean their office. Just keep cleaning. Yep. So if you're working 9 to 5, yep. If you're working 9 to 5, what's happening in your 5 to 9? Yeah, what's happening in your 5 to 9? What's happening in your weekends? If you would give somebody all that time, what about giving your business your time? But there is a model to help you also figure that out. All right. Everything else wastes time. Everything else wastes time. If you're traveling between the two, spend the money and get a cell phone. Look for other people to do what they do very well for you. Business builders who read a book and then change everything they're doing based on this book, they confuse themselves and confuse their whole team. That's what they do. The thinking that went into that book, the stories of that book, the principles of that book, they have nothing to do with your business. Now, I'm not saying you don't need to read, and I'm not saying you wouldn't have this, but what I'm saying is a lot of people just jump into the new books, the new this, the new that. Anyway, I've told you the secret. Look for somebody who's doing it and go get that done. And that goes back to the last principle. What are you doing that is working? Keep doing that. Don't introduce new things that don't work. Keep doing what works. And then don't come and risk introducing things. Just keep it really simple. Don't try to be smart. Don't try to find shortcuts. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. Don't try to buy a hard bargain. Pay for the speed of now. Don't try to find a cheaper way. Oftentimes when you try to find a cheaper way, guess what you end up with? Can you answer that question? Oftentimes when you try to find a cheaper way, do you know what you end up with? Let me see if anybody can answer that. I'm looking at the chat. Do you know what you end up with where you try to find a cheaper way? Anyone? Cheap? Yeah, cheap products. And guess what cheap does? It costs you because it breaks, right? It costs you because it didn't work. And it just drives me nuts when some things are just knowingly predictable. I see some of my clients, they want to do what I'm doing. They want to do some things, but they're not willing to pay the price I'm paying for those things, but they just want to get it cheap. Why are you doing that to yourself? That's true. And they think they're being smart. Now, look, I'm not saying the absolute times when you need to innovate and slowly, gingerly you test. but you respect what you've built. Respect the people who have built stuff. All right. I've been instructed to start rounding up. So guys, I want you all to go and understand what your core activities are. Spend time. I hope this has helped. Spend time on what really matters. Spend time on what really matters. And listen, invest in people. Your greatest asset, I'll now end here. Your greatest asset is your people. Your greatest asset is your people. All right. I hope this has helped. Datola, over to you.
Wow. Where's my video? That was really, really amazing. Sorry, I know you said me on my time. I'm just conscious that we still have a bit to go.
Someone said it wasn't long enough.
I know. No, coach is still going to talk at the end. He's still going to talk, but we need to do some other things and then he will come back in. But thank you. How do I, wait, let me remove the spotlight thing. I do not know what I'm doing. Okay. Yes, this has been amazing. And when coach was talking about, oh, by the way, I'm part of coach's 20%. Let me just say it out now. And
I take care of them.
Yes, and I can attest that he takes care of his 20%. So, and that's one of the, remember I talked about not having a scarcity mentality. And abundance mentality is also sharing your coach with your nation. Some people will say, this is my best kept secret. I don't want to share my coach with anyone, but here am I practicing abundant mentality. And this scripture, before I move on quickly, when coach was talking about just acquiring knowledge, 2 Timothy 3:7, and I can't remember, I don't know what translation this is, but it says, these weak women will listen to anyone who will teach them. They are forever inquiring and getting information, but are never able to arrive at a recognition and knowledge of the truth. So let's not be like women that keep gathering. We know it. We say, I've read this book, I've read that, but we are not applying it into our lives. Let's not be those type of women. Okay, so moving on quickly, we're finishing at 10:30. So yeah, we started at 8:30, right? Yeah, 2 hours. I don't want to take too much of your time. Okay, thank you so much, coach. That was amazing. Can you see my screen now?
Thanks for having me. Yeah.
Can everyone see my screen? Let me know before I continue.
I can see your screen.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, coach has said so many things, even in that short time. Again, remember the replay is going to go out. You would have the replay, so you can always watch that and listen again to get everything that coach has shared and what I shared earlier. Some things to consider on this journey of, starting your business or redefining your business is that starting can be very uncomfortable. Some things, coach mentioned, the things you're doing now, you need to stop doing them. That alone can be very uncomfortable because you're used to doing those things, right? But as you put in the work now, you're doing the major work up front and you become, it becomes part of your new routine and part of your new life. Also, remember that it is a journey. You're not just looking at the destination. It is a journey. The preparation stage is key. It might be painful, but it is crucial. And so embrace it. Embrace, failing, embrace the journey, embrace all of it, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Also, we've both mentioned this. You need someone. Who's that person that is achieving the success that you want to achieve? You need that mentor, you need that coach, you need that support system on the journey to save you time. And also because this journey requires courage, strength, and guidance so that you can get rid of doubt and get rid of fear. And in this season, we need to put in the work. You can either pay now and play later, or you can play now and pay later. Choose one. Okay, so let's recap. I shared some questions. Do you have a vision? What do you have in your house? What problem do you solve and for who? Do you have an online presence or platform with processes in place? Are you investing in yourself? And coach also mentioned about, adding value to your client, those 20%, adding value to them, because those are the ones that will bring in more business to you. Those are the ones that will tell you what else they need, and you can begin to grow in your business as your clients and nation are telling you what else they need. Okay, so we've shown you some steps to advance forward, but you probably still have questions. You need guidance with identifying what you should be doing now. And you need that support to work on the several building blocks that we spoke about, and even what Coach Aaron has talked about, so that you can go deeper. And I'd already alluded to this. I want to show you a proven path with the Digital Transformation Program. And what is this program? It is a 12-week implementation program designed for kingdom-minded women just like you. And it's to give you the knowledge, the confidence, and tools you need to leverage technology to start or grow your business online. This is not just, it's not an education, it's not just an educational program, but it is an implementation program. Now, remember, like I said, I have a gift at the end to give someone. So please wait, listen to all that I have to share, and then we'll go into that later. Okay, so before I share more about the Digital Transformation Program, I wanted to show a few case studies of those that have done the program. I already mentioned Coco earlier. Before DTP, and sometimes it's good to show, case studies of people who have done this program and then the results they got. Before Coco took the DTP program, and she's done this a number of times actually, but I'll be sharing more about that. She was spreading herself thin over 3 businesses. She was overworked, she was tired, she was overwhelmed, she was undercharging. She had a website, but she was scared to even tell anybody about it. And after she took the DTP program, she was successfully able to integrate 2 of her businesses, which I mentioned earlier, right? The healthy trays, where she helps people lose weight and eat right, and then her fashion business, styled by Coco. So able to integrate both businesses seamlessly. And Coach also mentioned this, focus on something, right? And then when they come in, you can now help them with other things. She also had a clear idea of who our ideal nation is and works only with them. Before, she used to get worried that, people are not buying or they're not doing stuff. But now she knows her 20% and she's focusing on those 20%. She also was able to build better business processes in place, which helped her to increase time spent with her family and less time on her business. She has loyal and repeat customers. Remember the 20%. She was able to launch her website and also launch new services. Interestingly, Coco is working with me again on DTP or DTP Plus to work on another business. So it works. Everything we teach you on this program works and can help. And this is a testimonial from her. Quite long, but let's focus. She said she was able to identify new and existing customer needs and create new products based on those needs. Again, still back to the 20%. She was able to find her market, narrow down and focus sales to her ideal nation. And I quite like what she said. She said, I no longer feel sad or unconfident. Is that a word? When clients don't purchase or sign up after consultation. I now see my product is not designed for everyone. And I'm also bold enough to tell people that I can't work with them. It goes 2 ways. There are some people that you probably don't want to work with. You should be bold enough to let them go and not hold on to them. Again, remember what I said about scarcity mentality. When you have a scarcity mentality, you take on everybody, even the ones that are not good for business, right? But when you have an abundance mentality, you know that my customers are coming. I don't have to work with everybody. She was also able to increase her prices and her ideal nation were happy to pay for her services and products. So that's Coco. So how is the Digital Transformation Program delivered? It's going to be online through videos and workbooks. We're starting November 9 and 12 weeks ends February 1. And these are the classes that we're going to go over. We're going to look at how to actually clarify your business vision. We'll look at identifying who your nation is, how to find them, how to talk to them, how to speak their language, the language they understand. We'll look at your product and service offering. When Coach was talking about the 20%, that in fact, class 3 just came to mind again, because with your product and service offering, when you pour into your 20%, they'll tell you more of what they want and you can build more products and services. We also look at how to create a profitable website. We teach you how to do it, but again, if you don't If you know website building is not your forte, you can outsource it. We have a team that can help you build that website, but at least you get to know the key elements of a website and no web designer can bamboozle you. That is one of my issues with web designers. They love to bobo people and think, oh, because you don't know what it entails, then they start telling you all these things. No, once you do class 4, you begin to speak their language and they cannot, mess about with you. Class 5, list building. Coach was talking about looking at those that are opening your emails. You need to have an email list to be able to do that. You need to do email marketing to know who's opening your emails and who's responding and all of those things. We teach you how to set that up. We also teach you how to do marketing on a shoestring budget, how to create content that your clients, your nation will identify with and understand that, yes, Datola is speaking to me. Content that is valuable to them that they can run with and begin to also see transformation in their lives or their businesses or whatever it is, whatever problem it is that you're solving for them. Then we also look at client management, how to manage your clients, back to the same 20%, having an abundance mindset and confidence, and also how to stay organized in your business. Okay, yeah, and then we're going to have 2 live Q&A sessions as well with me during those 12 weeks. Another case study, Emilola. Before DTP, Emilola she will tell you that she's not techie at all. She didn't know anything about website building, anything about building a nation or anything around anything techie. Very little technical know-how. She had many gifts. She has many gifts and unclear on what to focus on. Emilola has done DTP twice. The first time she did DTP was to launch her website. She built her website herself based on what she learned on DTP. She was clear on what she needed to focus on her writing and leveraging her skills for her lifestyle editing craft. She also built her technical skills and how to, create her own website. She's increased her confidence. And as a result of her website and her blog, she's now had more speaking engagements. The second time she did DTP was for her lifestyle editing business. And I think I'm not quite sure where she is with that now, but I know she started getting new clients from that business. Emilola has this to say. She said, TCJ often says there's no such thing as a self-made man or woman. We are all standing on the shoulders of someone. I'm grateful for the DTP program for demystifying a lot of things. Datola has crafted a really, really useful program for techless women like myself. I successfully built my first website with DTP with no prior tech experience, giving me a platform to reach more people with his word. And the one thing she's alluded to here is that you have lifetime access. So you hear me say someone has done the program over and over. So no matter how many businesses you have or how many projects you have, each time we run DTP, if you've done DTP once, you get to do it again without paying for DTP. So again, lifetime access. Okay, so like I mentioned, you get lifetime access to the program. And then we have bonuses for you as well when you join the program. The first one is that you get to join a private group. There's a WhatsApp group with current members, new members, all in there, where you get to interact with other members. You get to ask questions. You are assigned an accountability partner where you can, primarily share your victories, achievements, and encouragement with. During the 12 weeks, we would have a facilitator, Joker, I think she's online, who would help, just ask questions around each class. So a class is released on a Monday, and then during the week, we all get to talk about it together. So that is quite engaging and helps you stay on track. The other thing you get is a free WordPress template that you can use to create, customize for your own websites. Like I said, we talk about websites in class 4. If you want to get someone else to do it, like I said, we have a team. We have a Super Working Mom Tech team. You get to use that website. If you have a website developer outside, you can take that template and give it to them to help you create your website. Also, you get 3 months free access to the Super Working Mom Academy. Now, what I always recommend is during DTP, the 12 weeks, stay focused on DTP. And once the DTP program is over, then you come do the modules in Super Working Mom Academy, which would also help you on your journey. Then you would also get an Instagram masterclass live with my dear friend Eloho. She's a social media coach and IG visibility expert. For the last DTP that we did, she ran a live class with us on how to basically use Instagram to your advantage and attract the right audience, basically getting Instagram to work for you. And so you get access to that class when you join the DTP program. Yeah, and that was quite a good class that she did for us. Another case study, Wemimo Omotosho. Before Wemimo took the DTP program, she already had a website, but little traffic, no traffic, little sales. She had an Etsy store. She was unsure of how to leverage social media, to generate content. Because in her mind, she was like, all I sell are bouquets. How many pictures of my product am I going to show? And how do I engage my customers? So all of those things were the things she was concerned about. She was finding it hard to juggle family. She has a full-time job and also how to run her business. Then after she took DTP, she was able to get more traffic to her website because she was speaking to her ideal nation. They found out about her website. She was able to create new products based on what her customers are telling her. She started off with baby bouquets, but now she does a lot of wedding bouquets as well, and she has customers all over the world. Another thing that came out of DTP for her was now she trains other people on how to create their own bouquets, and that's a different source of income for her. She was also able to learn how to leverage social media and also YouTube with value-based content, resulting into more awareness for her business. And she also learned how to use email marketing effectively, and now she has more paying customers worldwide, and she's able to maximize time around family. When Mo had this to say about the DTP program, she said it was launched at a time when I really needed it. I just launched my own website that a third party had designed for me, but I really needed help to know how to run it, all the different techie bits involved, how to drive traffic to it and build momentum online. I got all these and more out of DTP. Data taught all the skills you need to make you a well-rounded business in this technologically advanced age we are in. I would definitely recommend Data to any woman who needs to get their business online but are stuck on knowing exactly what to do. I have lots more case studies, but because of time, I'm sharing just these three. And now we have the all brand new addition to DTP. And I'm really, really excited about this. And I'll get Coach to come tell us more. So let me put up the details. And Coach, are you there? Do you want to share more on this, on the program?
Go on. You can.
Sorry?
You can. All right. Okay. So you have it on the screen. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
So, hi everyone. Actually, before I do this, just to show you how life is, how many people can remember? I want everybody to quickly type what's the one thing you've learned from today's session? What's the one thing you've learned? Quickly. Let me see what you can remember, because many of you are going to walk away from here and say, oh, wow, what a fantastic session, but you may not be able to remember anything at the end of the day. So 8 to 20%, okay, listen and learn. Stop doing things that don't work, okay? Focus on 20%. No, success has clues, okay? Am I on the right track? Okay. Please write this book. All right, you're talking to yourself, right? I hope so. And be simple, not smart, okay? Find the successful people around you. All right, okay, well done. So go listen to this again. And then secondly, see, three things need to always be in place. Three things need to be always in place before any form of learning is established. You need knowledge, you need understanding, and you need mentorship. You need knowledge, you need understanding, and you need mentorship. On this program, and adding to what Data has been doing, and most of these things is I don't know how Data has got me to do all this, is because I haven't taught most of these things to even my clients. I've never really done any business sessions with my clients. These are things I've curated some of these teachings only for people who pay me a premium, and just help them walk in the business for that. Just a few people have done this, but I'm going to be running 4 live sessions. And I'm going to, just how I gave you steps today, I'm going to walk through your head and show you 10 steps of the buyer's journey. Listen, I see a client And I see, Bolanle and Remy are here. When I was running my summits, I literally would text them. I say, this person is going to be a client. This person is going to be a client. This person, I can watch through all the engagement and what everybody's doing. And I'll tell my team, I'll say, just watch this name. Watch out for this name. Watch out, because there is something called a buyer's journey. There's a buyer's journey. And there are 10 steps. So this is you looking at the business from the eyes of the buyer. So I'm not going to give you all that, but on this program, we're going to be looking at 10 steps to the buyer's journey. And then we're going to look at how, oh my God, that's what I've put me in trouble. A lot of my clients, I'm looking at them here. They're going to,
they should come and join the program. That's it.
They're going to see what I do. I'm going to tell you how to create hunger for your business. I'm going to teach you how to create hunger for your business. A lot of us think it's about try, and I like that Datola said that it's actually not about trying to be there for everybody. No, there are certain people, and some of the two people who work with me, Bolale and Remy, will tell you, I intentionally set up my business around certain people, intentionally. And I'm not expecting them to buy now, because if they buy now, they're going to buy cheap. So I intentionally make sure that they are watching, they are seeing what I'm doing. I'm creating hunger. And the day they bait it, the day they come in, boom, I build them for it. So there is, how do you create hunger for your business? You have to understand how to create hunger. How to create hunger for what you have, how to create hunger for that which you're looking to bring in the world. And then we're going to look at your authentic voice. I am not like Datola. Datola loves, she did such a beautiful presentation with her webinar. Don't ever expect I'm going to do webinar. No. Nope. By the grace of God, I run the church in the moment with a few friends, and they're always trying to tell, hey, come and do this. Nope. Every single one, you have your authentic voice. You have your authentic style. So how do you discover your authentic voice? Now, listen, you are learning from people. You're observing from people. You're observing people. You're observing people. For like I say, you're observing people, but there's still a way to discover your authentic voice in the midst of it all. How can I be different? How do I say it that is different from how a Datola will say it, right? That's discovering your authentic voice. And Datola has done very well on this. I watched how to, there is something called the art of the deal. There is, how do you craft a deal that is irresistible for people? The art of the deal. And some people think that selling is the first time you put something out. No, I'm selling the whole process. If you've bought 150 pounds from me, you are going to buy 20,000 from me one day. I am selling the whole process. Everybody has a price on them. They may not buy. They are not at 5,000 now, but they're going to pay 5,000 one day. Then when they've paid 5,000, that's why I say take care of your 20%. You have to know how to take care of your 20%. Many of us are trying to chase everybody. No, it is you find the right people, you pour into them, you invest in them, you raise those people, they will keep paying money, right? And there's a way to structure these deals at different times, the art of the deal. So these are some of those things that, and maybe more. If you know me very well, I always give more than I add. I'll probably be throwing, I'll wake up one day and just say, no, I think you should have this before this, you should have this before that. So you can expect those kind of things. But as we land this thing, there's a difference between being average and exceptional. And I think this course sets you up for, do I want to be average or do I want to be exceptional? Because listen, you don't become successful because you're smarter. Many of you are smarter than me. Trust me. Many of my team members are smarter than me. They are better than me. I've always set myself up for that, like that. In my music team, I always used to tell them I am the weakest link. I always set myself with smarter people, very intentional. But listen, you don't become successful because you're smarter. I have smart people around me, but I'm the person whose flyer is on the page, on the paper, I'm the face of the flyer. But yet all my singers are far better than I am. I have smart people around me, intentional. You don't become successful because you're smarter or more talented or better than anyone else. You don't achieve anything because you deserve more than anyone else here today. If success is a destination, let me tell you, you don't get anywhere worth going on a plane. It's always long, winding, sometimes bumpy road, bumpy trip. And there's plenty of opportunity. Opportunity is what Datola is presenting to you right now. He's giving you an opportunity right now. She's giving you an opportunity. An opportunity is missed by most people because it shows up in, you have to pay money. It shows up in overall and looks like work. It shows up in I can't afford it. It shows up, but that's how people miss opportunities. I shared with some of the people in my inner circle, of which Datola is a part of today. I invested in an opportunity 2 weeks ago. It shook me. Paying for that mastermind shook me. But how am I gonna know who's on the mastermind? I walk into that mastermind today, and the likes of BB Winans is on the same mastermind with me. Opportunity is missed by most people because it shows up in I don't have money, I can't afford it, in overalls, it looks like work and all those things. If you will bet on yourself and take this opportunity, then this is our journey to being exceptional. It's over to you.
Thank you very much, Coach. Thank you so much. I would continue. Yeah, someone's asking how much. We're going there now. Don't worry, we'll tell you what the price is. And you did say, is it going to be on? Yes, it's digital transformation after all. So it is an online program. You can join from anywhere in the world as long as you have internet. So that is that. Lara, sorry, I didn't quite get your question about, sorry. Okay, we'll do that at the end. Let me run through and then we'll go through that. Oh, and by the way, if you've done now, you've heard me say you can do DTP over and over again. If you've done DTP before and you want to have access to this, yes, you can. All you do is you just pay for this side of things, and then you'll be able to join us in January. Okay, so investment, you're already thinking, so how much is this DTP? How much is it? So first of all, I wanted to say that in this season, my desire is to help women who are serious and ready to take action. You want to get online, you want to build a presence, you want to be able to serve your nation, you want to generate income for yourself and build, like we said, having a business is one of the wealth pillars. You want to do all of those things, effect change. My question to you before I tell you how much this program is, how much are you willing to invest in yourself to generate a full-time income from your business? Or you want to double it or triple it or 10x it? What would how much are you willing to invest in yourself to grow your business? So let's talk about the investment. Now, if I calculate the man hours to create the program, just the man hours alone to create all 10 modules with content and experience and all of those things, we're looking at a value of over £5,000. Don't worry, that's not how much you're paying. No panic, don't panic yet. If we put a value, and I'm sure Coach is going to yab me because I just put my value on this. I'm sure he would say, little light.
And you rushed into that. Don't worry. That's your money mindset right there.
I know.
For them to pay 5,000, they can afford it. It's all right. You should have allowed them to enjoy it.
Coach is already schooling me. Coach, we'll do that in my session. So the Empowered Business Program, not less than £2,000 for the 4-week program with Coach. And then all the bonus content that I've added in there is, by the time you put all of that together, let's say about £700. And the total of that is 770. But today, if you sign up today, we've done it in such a way that you can afford this, right? So DTP is if you pay all at once, it will be £1,499. But if you want to pay twice, if you want to do a 2-payment plan, it will be 2 payments of $799, and we have the dollar price there as well for those in those abroad or you want to pay in dollars, or 3 monthly payments of $599. So that is the price of joining the DTP program, or the investment, or like the amount you'll be investing. Doors are going to be closing on November 1, so it's time to take action now. And the program is going to start on November 9 and will finish February 1. So just imagine, by February 1, what would have happened after I've gone through DCP? Where am I now, and where will I be by the end of the program? That's where you want to be looking at. What would have happened by then? Okay. So like I said, to help you with cash flow, we have more installment plans for you. And remember that this is a lifetime access. So Folake, if you can, please put up the link to the to DTP, so you can see everything I've shared here is all on that page. Again, like I said, if you've currently done DTP and you want to do just the program with Code Aaron, all you'll be paying is $499 for that. So that's how much it would be to you if you've done DTP in the past. So here's what's gonna happen. Take a leap of faith, invest and join us today or as soon as possible. The doors closes by November 1st. Get ready to start working in November. We will have a Christmas break, 1 week off in December, but otherwise we are going to be working. It's going to be 12 weeks. Before I'd kind of extended it, but I saw that people were not taking action. So I'm taking it back to how it used to be before. The first time, this is the 4th time we're going to run DTP. The first time we were all in and people got results. So 12 weeks, we're going to stay focused and we're going to experience transformation in our businesses. So that is it, ladies. So I know someone had a question, but I also wanted to share the special gift that I had, a copy of my book, Slayed Out. You can get Slayed Out on Amazon. Folake, if you can, please share that link as well. And also, if you had any more questions around DTP that you wanted to ask, there's an FAQ on the page that Folake is sharing. But if any of those questions are not answered or you wanted to find out more, then you can book a 15-minute session with me where I would answer your questions, because I want you to be able to make an informed decision, right? And so if you need any of your questions answers, please book that time. Coach, I'm going to get you to choose one person to win this book. In the meantime, Lara, if you want to come off mute and ask your question, if anyone else had any questions, please let me know. You don't have monthly plans. Queen Esther, please send me a message and then we can talk about that. Yeah. Lara, did you say you wanted
to? Yes. Can you hear me? Is it clear? Hi, I just want to say thank you first before I ask my question. Thank you, Detola. Thank you, Coach. Amazing, amazing. Coach, I have run away from you. I'm sinful. Forgive me. Anyway, so my question is, there's an aspect of the DTP that Coach is going to be handling. Yes. Is it possible that that is actually like a separate thing on its own, or you have to register for the entire DTP program to get it? Because my like I said, I have someone who is IT savvy, like IT, that's blood, IT kind of thing. And the business aspect of it is what I'm really like trying to latch on for this person. So I just want to know, is there going to be like a separate, just that DTP aspect where the business aspect of the tech is going to be separate on its own without having to go to the entire DTP program? Because the person is already, I believe, knowledgeable enough to do everything else. I'm thinking, well, I know. Not that I think, I know. So that's what I'm asking. That's what I'm asking. Yes. If it's going to be a separate thing on its own, like just register for that particular section of it, the business aspect of it for the techie person, or not possible? So right now, the only people that have access to that bit alone are those that have done DTP already. And so DTP is not just the technical, oh, sorry, where's my video? It's not just the website bits. There's also the pricing bits, the vision bits, all of those things. Your techie guy can't do that for you. That you need to own as a business owner.
So the part that is quite techy is the website, the email marketing, which you can ultimately outsource, but you still need to know it for you to, before you even outsource it to someone. So the way it's been structured now is they go hand in hand. So that's why the only people who can take the live sessions with Coach Aaron are those that have done DTP in the past. So they all go hand in hand. So that's the answer to that question. I hope that helps. Adebi says, what is the schedule like in terms of timing? Okay, thanks. Fantastic question. So every week a module is going to be released. Ideally, in a week, you need 2 hours, minimum 2 hours, 1 hour to listen to the module once. So obviously, if you want to listen to it more over and over, then more time. But at least 1 hour to settle down and listen to the module, and up to an hour to do the workbook, because there is going to be some workbook to do. So I would say practically, if you can invest a minimum of 2 hours per class, you should be fine. When you get to the technical bit, you might, for example, if you want to build your own website yourself, then more hours will be involved. But when it comes to the vision, knowing your pricing, all of those things, building up your packages, then I would say minimum of 2 hours. And so every week a class will be released. There will be a break the week of, I think, 28th or so. And then we resume again in the new year. There's going to be a plan out as well, so everyone can see the dates, and that is how that's going to run. Anything else from anyone? Someone said, okay. Yes. Any other question from anyone else? Okay. So, Coach, I want you to choose someone to win the Slayed Out book. And
Right. Is there anyone this is your first time on Dataless course, or any of Dataless? This is your first time. This is your very first time. Anybody? Anyone?
They're plenty. Ungozi, that's not true. So.
Right, where are they? So I think there was a Abisoyi, right?
Can you see the chat box?
Abisoyi, say please pick me. No, but just a first time. Maria, is that your first time? Cheese Blossom, okay. So how many first timers we have? We have Timmy, Adekoya.
Quite a lot.
Odera. All right, okay. So the first person who can share 5 things they learned. The first person who can share 5 things they learned, then we will give them the Slayed Out. First person, and it's not Amaka. Amaka is ruled out. Who can share 5 things they learned? Okay, we're simple, not smart. Okay. Failure is learning opportunity. Success leaves clues, works with your focus on transversal. Okay. Your greatest asset is your people.
Let's put all 5 together. No,
exactly. Yeah. We want, actually, that's it. I'm waiting for the first person who would list all the 5 at the same time. I just changed that rule though. I make it up as I go. It's okay. I'm like God.
Really? God doesn't make it up as he goes.
He does. He just came and said, let there be lights. There was lights. Anything he wants, he just makes it. All right. Can I work with everyone? Knowledge. All right.
Lara, this is not your first time here, so don't answer the question.
All right. Let me get someone to help me choose. Can I, whoever to win? All right, we give it to Queen Esther. Was she the first? Whoever win. Queen Esther, is this your first
Queen
time?
Esther. I hope it's not the Esther that I think it is.
It's Queen Esther. Is this your first time?
Oh, okay, no, it's not her.
Queen
I thought
Esther.
it was Esther. I thought it was our Esther.
All right, no, but Queen Esther, is this your first time though?
Probably. I don't think I know who Queen Esther is.
No, can she talk? I want to find out something because there's a principal right there. Oh, it's not her first time. Oh, she was very honest. All right. All right, then let me allow Queen Esther pick somebody. Queen Esther, let me have you pick someone. Only because what you just did there is a principle. It's an amazing principle when you're not thinking about yourself, but it's about others. And that is I don't know, Tease Blossom has been on my view, but I didn't see her answer all the questions. All right, we'll give it to Tease Blossom, everybody. Come and fight me later. Everybody, do me a favor though. If you're not following me on Instagram, go and follow me on Instagram. It's right. Aaron T. Aaron.
So thank you, everyone. It's already 10:30.
You're fighting me already.
We're 6.
Oh, then I will see during your coaching session. At Aaron T. Aaron, on Instagram. Everybody, at least say hello. Tell me where you're from, because I'm one of those serial people. I don't accept everybody. Just tell me you're from SWM. A lot of fights me a lot for that. Send me a message at tell me you're from SWM.
Oh, someone said I didn't answer their question. Okay, I'm not sure I saw that, so let me try and find it. By the way, Tease Blossom, please can I know your name, so that, because I'm going to need you to email me.
Yeah.
On.
Oh, thanks. Thanks a lot, Thomas.
admin@superworkingmom.com. Ola, please, could you put the email address? Okay, so I can't. Oh, yes. So Omalara says for the business aspect, when is this done? And also the cost for past DTP students. How do we have access as past DTP students? Which Lara is this? Is this Lara? Lara, is this Lara? Okay, so says, is this for the business aspect? When is this done? Okay, so if I get this right.
That's January.
Yeah.
January.
Okay. So the coaches aspect is going to be from January, the first week in January to the last week. So 4 weeks in January. But from November, we're going to start DTP. So that we've already gained ground, covered momentum, right? And then in January, you will still have the modules running, but then the live sessions would I need to check Coach A's calendar, but it's going to be in the 4 weeks in January. Yeah. And so the cost is going to be $499 for past DTP students, yes. And how do we have access? It's going to be on Mighty Networks. So, but the classes will be on Zoom. So we'll send all the information out anyway. Yeah. Awesome. Thank you so much, everyone. It's already
Thanks, everybody.
38. I hope you found this useful. Be expecting emails from me just to remind you about DTP, and also to let you know that, it's going to close December 1st. We already have the links up. If you want to book time to talk to me, if you want to go straight ahead and book, please do so. Let me find my market. Let me market my market. Oh, God. Because it says, if you need a virtual entertainer to lighten the mood in your Zoom, then awesome. I'm glad that we all had a great time. So I'll let you all go. The recording will be out by tomorrow, by God's grace. Once it processes, we'll send that out so that you can have access to that. Please watch this over and over again. Even if you don't do DTP, a number of the things we've shared will set you up for success. Okay, so thank you and enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thanks for having me, Dayton. Good to see all of you.
Thank you so much for coming. I do appreciate you. Yeah. Okay, then. Thank you, everyone. God bless you. Bye-bye.